skies, and on every occasion that you do or don't smile. Every time you...
So welcome to Sensible Secondhand Classics, and beautiful day down in Hampshire at the Lloyd Consulting social event at Callaghan. This is a 2000 Toyota MR2, and you're going to see it's going to be a lot of fun. I do apologise for the wind noise, and I apologise for the camera shake. It's just the way that it goes in these sort of convertible cars, but needless to say, we will be having some fun today. So the W30 shape MR2 was introduced in 1999 in global markets in this country in the year 2000. In fact, this car was one of the first 250 to be imported into Britain. The only engine available in these was the 1ZZF FED engine, which was also used for contemporary Celica. In this application, 138 horsepower. There was both a 5-speed and a 6-speed automated manual available for these, depending on the model year. And apparently that is good or bad depending on your point of view. I in a car like this, would want to stick with this 5-speed manual personally. It just feels more appropriate for the character of it. Certainly if you're rivaling things like the MGF and the NB MX5, you probably want to go for the manual, and it feels very, very good, this manual. Obviously, being a car that's been with the same person from new, you'd expect it to be in very nice condition, and it absolutely is. It feels very tight. The suspension's quite firm and very scuttle shake. It's probably why this camera mount's going around so much, but that's unfortunately just the way it goes on this channel, I'm afraid. With me in the car today is Amber from the W30 channel, although you can't see her from the angle that I'm at.
I'm here.
She is here, and we are enjoying ourselves. Oh, cattle grid, that wasn't not too bad. One thing I would say about this engine, there's not a huge amount of torque in it. You do have to stay in the lower gears in order to actually kind of make progress in this. It's very much one of these engines that likes to be revved. Obviously with variable valve timing as well, which it has, you sort of going to have to work it quite hard to get to the sweet spot of it. I mean, I'm driving this car relatively slowly. I mean, it might seem like this camera mount's going everywhere, and it is, but I'm actually driving quite slowly so it doesn't fall off the windscreen like it did in the Mark 1 MX5 where I drove along this road. But yes, on a day like this, on the edge of a New Forest, with the roof down, this little convertible sports car with a lovely short throw 5-speed manual in it. This is what the joy of driving is all about, and I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to actually experience it, although I'm sorry that you aren't having as much fun as I am. It's one of these joys to drive a car like this, one owner from new, and just immaculate condition. Very different car from the Mark II MR2s, because it's a sort of roadster, a bit like, I don't know, an MX5, MGF would have been at this stage. There were quite a few of them actually around, but this one is one of the first 250 cars that actually came to this country. They came out in other markets in '99, but this is a spring 2000, I think, actually this is registered. Obviously it's on a personal plate. I do like the design of this. Very, very evidently the engine is in the middle because there are the air intakes, again sort of similar to an MGF. I don't know whether I like the look of this as much as some of the other sort of rivals. I think it is a nice design. I think this colour does actually suit it. It's not a colour particularly that I'd say suits every car, but a little car like this, a little fun, fast car, I think it looks quite good actually. Obviously you've seen that I've been driving with the with the roof down, which I think on a day like today is perfectly acceptable. One really weird thing about this car is that the major storage in it is actually just here behind the seats. I'm just going to pause the video a second and just open them, and I'll show you what it's like when we're actually there. So by pulling the release lever here, you can actually then put that forward, and then you can put whatever you need just in there behind the two seats, and then you just put it back like that and back like that. Although I am going to have to adjust that backrest slightly because there's no way I'm actually getting in there. So quite well designed in that particular way, and there is also a little release for the extremely tiny boot. That might also be for the engine. I think there's both in there. We'll have a look in a second. But classic kind of Japanese car of circa 2000, just these little flaps there. Electric mirrors, little sporty instrument cowls, kind of a bit like, I don't know, it's Alfa Romeo almost actually. I don't think we've got air conditioning, but I mean, you don't need air conditioning in a car like this, do you? Why do you need air conditioning in a car like this? You really don't. Dashboard materials are interesting. It feels strange. I think it might just be hard plastic all the way around, but doesn't really matter, does it, in a car like this? I'd be worried about that sort of thing. Door handle pulls feel good, as to these grips. Tiny little pockets for the oddment storage. It's not really the sort of car that really matters, I don't think, though. Right, let's adjust this seat so I can actually get inside properly. Okay, that's better. I can actually get in now. So the roof is off, so it's a bit easier. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Yeah, actually, if you're tall, you can actually go back a long way. I mean, I'm too far back now, so I'm gonna have to adjust that. But that's good. Gear lever falls immediately to hand like this. It's a little bit longer than the gear lever would be on something like the contemporary MX-5. It would be an MB MX-5 at this time. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. See if the glove box in there. I'm not sure I can get my secret mission documents, unfortunately, in there, viewers. There's the release for the front boot. That actually is the bonnet then, because see the engine's in the middle. Ashtray down there. What's this? Wow, we've got cup holders. Fantastic. And this, I think, is a factory option. A Sony tape and CD player. Fantastic. Oh, yes, very sort of typical of period in Japanese cars. I know Mazda 323s often came with a similar type of system where you could put CDs and tapes in one unit like this. So doubled in presumably with that, but it's got this kind of indentation in it, so you can see that this is actually a factory option radio because of the indentation there. It even tells you what side the fuel filler flap is. That's interesting. And there's little compartments up here for, I don't know, keeping your windscreen clear. Interior light, of course, is on here, as are the sun visors. And, ooh, hello, little mirror. It's not electrochromatic though, it's just a little bit tinted, which is good. Yeah, it feels really nice in here. I'm very impressed. Let's start with the front boot, shall we? So I mean, in this car, MR2, midship runabout two-seater, but people have said mid-engine roadster. I don't know. I don't know, viewers. Answers at the comment section. So if we open this up like that, we can actually see we've got a spare in there and a bag of interesting things. That's where my secret mission documents should go. They should go in there. That's what I should do with them. Let's put that back. So, washer fluid, brake fluid, A little bit like it, something like an MGF in that respect. Various sort of ancillary bits in there, relays and fuses just there. Yeah, headlamps must be remarkably good. I mean, obviously, I think Sarah keeps this car in really good condition. She's had it 22 years, so obviously she's not planning on getting rid of it anytime soon, and I don't blame her really. So this is a 1.8 4-cylinder 16 valve engine generating 138 horsepower. As far as I understand it, certainly for our market, all MR2s had this engine. I think you can swap an engine from the contemporary Celica that was 190 brake horsepower into this, but certainly this is a standard UK car, and this is all we got. So not really anywhere to put anything else. I mean, that's the exhaust system there, so you don't want to put things in there because they might melt. I mean, it might be good for cooking bacon on or something, but not much else. Dipstick is there, and then manifold is just there. I don't know whether you can drop the engine out or take these strut braces off or something to get better access. That might be a good idea to take these off to actually get to things like the spark plugs and things like that. Certainly even putting oil in looks a bit awkward without taking those off. But there's the coolant just there. And again, the condition of this car is just astonishingly nice. Right, I think it might be time to go for another drive, viewers. We do like driving this car. Oh yes. Certainly, if you can, you want to drive this car with the hood down. I'm not sure I'd like getting in and out of this with it up. That probably wouldn't be much fun. But, you know, that's not really the point, is it? I mean, nice examples of a car like this. We're well outside no budget reviews territory, even if I think you can still buy tattered and rusty ones of these for under that. Not like this. And of course, we're not featuring this on the no budget reviews segment of the channel, simply because I don't think it's appropriate to a car like this to actually say that, you know, this is what you should be paying for one. I think you want to be paying somewhere in the kind of £3,000 to £5,000 bracket for a nice one like this. Obviously, we have had a £400 MGF on no budget reviews before, and you know you can find them, but just a bit of a better experience to have one that's like this. It is a lovely thing to drive. Someone at Toyota in the late 90s, who were developing this car, understood how to make a good handling, nice drive car. The steering is nice and positive. I really like this gear change. It's rather like a sort of Corolla. It's ease of use, but precision and the short throw is excellent. It's a shame that Toyota don't make a car that's like this anymore. But there's the GT86 and there's the GR Super, things like that, but not one that's convertible anymore, and that is a bit of a shame. But obviously this is Sensible Secondhand Classics, and you can pick one of these up for a fraction of a brand new Supra or a GT86, and we will enjoy this car whilst we have it. So viewers, the W30 Toyota MR2, is this something you should consider with a budget of between £1,000 and £5,000 as a sensible second-hand classic? Well, I don't see why not. I mean, the maintenance might be a little bit tricky on this because, you know, the engine is just in the middle there, and it's not necessarily the easiest thing to get to. And I do hear quite bad problems with these of rust. I think the engine's a chain cam in this, so from that point of view, it's better than having the timing belt that needs changing. But this is an amazingly nice car to drive. Really, really good. Obviously, the practicality is not for everyone, but you don't buy a bright green MR2 to be practical. You buy it because it's fun, and because this has been engineered by someone who understands what an enthusiast wants in a sports car, and I think that's what they've done quite well with these. Is it the best of the kind of bunch of the things that were around at the time, like the MGF and TF and the MBMX5? I don't really know, to be honest. I kind of like all of them, so I can't really tell you that. It will obviously depend on your individual preference. Amber seems to have enjoyed her little passenger ride as well, which is good. Yes, there will be some footage of this car also on the Driven 24/7 channel. Thank you for watching this episode of Sensible Secondhand Classics. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment below. Thank you again to Sarah for letting me have a go in her amazing pride and joy. And if you want to join the channel as a member, there's a button below to click, but don't feel you have to, of course, no pressure. But I'll see you again soon for more old-fashioned, good value motoring.